We should care because it's in the Bible. We know that the rabbis named 7 demigod hybrids in the Bible: the Nephilim, the fallen ones; the Rephaim, the dead ones; the Anakim; the Zamzumim; the Imim; the Gibborim; and the Avim. They named 7 of them. This is not just some tangent thing, and they did not take it as myth. There are hybrids in heaven, in case you didn't know. Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 10 talks about a creature that I think you would be shocked to meet on the street. Here's what he looks like. As for the likeness of their faces, each had the face of a man. Each of the 4 had the face of a lion on the right side. Each of the 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. Each of the 4 had the face of an eagle. Imagine meeting one of these. If you can't get along with someone because their skin color is slightly different from you, you're going to be unpleasantly surprised by heaven. Because there is so much more diversity in heaven, and God's saying, get used to it. I'm a God of diversity. I like making things, but I want to make them. You are not allowed, you're not authorized to tamper with the genetic code. Revelation chapter 4, verse 7 mentions it again, a hybrid in heaven. The first living creature was like a lion, the second living creature like a calf. The third living creature had a face like a man. The fourth living creature was like a flying eagle. And it's all like. He just couldn't find the words to describe it. There are definitely some strange creatures in heaven. Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 9 to 10 in the New Living Translation, he said, I looked, and each of the 4 cherubim had a wheel beside him, and the wheels sparkled like beryl, like a jewel. All 4 wheels looked alike and were made the same. Each wheel had a second wheel turning crosswise within it. That's a strange creature. If you think about it, it's not that strange because we have one thing that is a perfect circle in our makeup. It's our eye. Our eye is the only perfect circle that I see in our body. But God likes it, and so God made some creatures with a bunch of perfect circles all over, I guess with a bunch of wheel-looking things around them. So we need to know that it's in the Bible because once we understand this, the context will help us understand the Bible. It will help you understand things like why there was a flood of Noah, why God commanded the total annihilation of the Canaanites, because there were some strange things happening in that time, a genetic engineering, a genetic manipulation at that time. Why should Christians care? Because it's predicted to happen again. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, that which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done. There is nothing new under the sun. And Jesus said in Matthew 24 verse 37 in the NIV, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. That leaves it really open. As it was in the days of Noah, you have to ask, well, what happened in the days of Noah? Why was it that God had to destroy the whole world and save only 8 people? He would have saved more, but only 8 people decided to believe God. And everyone else was killed. Why? Because there was this genetic manipulation going on. Genesis 6, read it yourself, describes a genetic experiment that produced hybrids during Noah's day and brought judgment, a severe judgment on the entire world. And then Jesus compares what's about to come to that. He says something preceded that catastrophe, and the same thing will precede the ultimate catastrophe. 2,000 years later, after Genesis 6, Israel was mandated to wipe out Canaan because of a repeat in genetic manipulation. We know that it happened because who did they meet when they entered Canaan? They met the giants, aberrations of nature, genetic mutants. One of them was named Goliath. And look at David dragging Goliath's head. That's not just a tall man. That is a hybrid. According to the Talmud, you may not have heard this before, according to the Jewish rabbis in the Talmud, you know who Goliath's mother was? It was Orpah, the sister of Ruth. Remember, Ruth said, I want to follow your God, Naomi, so I'm going to go back to Israel. But Orpah says, yeah, I'd like to go, but Naomi says, you don't have to go. She said, okay, then I don't have to go. So her heart wasn't there. You watch that among believers. A lot of people say the right thing, but their heart is not in it. Orpah was that kind of human, was that kind of lady. She said the right thing, but her heart was not really in it. And then she went and married a Nephilim, and she produced these giants. One of them was Goliath. So David actually killed one of his distant cousins, because David is the great grandson of Ruth. Right? And Ruth was the sister-in-law of Orpah. Then we find the Nephilim are named in the Old Testament. There's Ishi-Benob. He's one of the 4 brothers of Goliath in 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 16. He's killed by Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, which is David's nephew. Abishai is David's nephew. Zeruiah is David's sister. Lami is in 1 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 5. Again, there was war with the Philistines, and Elhanan, the son of Jair, killed Lami, the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Then we had a 6-fingered giant in 1 Chronicles 20, verse 6. Again, there was war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature with 24 fingers and toes, 6 on each hand and 6 on each foot. And he also was born to the giant. Then we have another one in verse 7. So when he defiled Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shemaiah, David's brother, killed him. So in all there were 5 giants from Gath killed by David and his proteges. Isn't that cool? You follow someone, you do their works. Those people who followed David, who was a giant slayer, they themselves became giant slayers. I find that encouraging. By the way, this may be the possible origin for the Indian greeting how, and I'm not sure how the fingers are. I believe it's this way. But the American Indians would greet each other like this. They say how. And they always show the number of fingers they have in their hands. Because according to some Native American legends, there were giants in America, and they had 6 fingers and 6 toes. Believable? Well, I believe it because it's in the Bible. Why should we care? It's happened in recent history. It's not only happened long time ago in ancient history, it's happened in recent history. I believe the greatest sins on earth start with a desire to create genetically engineered superhumans. And this was the desire of both Charles Darwin and Adolf Hitler. They had a desire for genetic superiority. And these 2 characters, Darwin and Hitler, they're 2 sides of the same coin. They believed the same thing. They were believers in what's called eugenics. Eu is Greek for good, genics for genetics. They believed in the creation of a super race. Well, how do you create a super race? Well, they pitch it to the Germans that the potential to become gods. Have you ever heard that from someone before? Satan? The potential to become gods is well within our reach. Yeah, people like that. People get excited about genetic engineering. Yeah. Defying God now becomes scientific. And so, in the name of science, not in the name of Christianity, in the name of science, 6 million Jews were killed in the name of evolutionary science because it was simply survival of the fittest. What a tragedy. You know, many young people don't even learn this anymore. We're probably about to get into World War III, where some of the worst stuff in the world is going to happen. And people don't even know. It was based on this desire for genetically enhanced humans that people allowed Hitler to do what he did. Eugenics was very popular. This is Darwin's cousin, Francis Galton. I think it's spelled with an A, G-A-L. He was the father of eugenics, close relative of this fellow. Very popular. There were eugenic societies. Instead of going to church, people went to eugenic societies. Over 65,000 people were sterilized under the official eugenics programs in the United States. Here are some signs. Some people are born to be a burden on the rest. See, that's what Darwinian evolutionary science teaches people. Here's another sign: war against the weak. Your belief is the foundation of what you do. Your belief is everything. Here's a German having his Aryan credentials checked by his nose size. But our God said that He created every human in His own image and likeness. We, all of us, are as human as Adam and Eve. There's been no evolution in the human race or any species. We've never seen any species turning into another species. Thousands were sterilized to keep the population down and the genetic pool pure. Are you hearing this argument? A lot of kids who go to university believe that the earth is overpopulated. Nonsense. We have so much. God has made this planet super abundant. We have so much resources to support way more than 7, 8, 9, 10 billion people. It's going to be a population explosion when Jesus comes back. The millennium will be full of people, and the earth is well capable of handling it. You fly across the world as much as I do, and you look out the window, you will find most of the planet is empty. Most of America, with 300 million people, is empty. The world was created by God to sustain lots more life. Our worth comes from not man, but from God. So Satan's temptation has always been this. The same thing that he pitched to Eve in Genesis chapter 3, verse 4 and 5. The serpent said to the woman, "You will not surely die." If you don't believe God, if you disobey God, number one, you will not surely die, for God knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God. The three promises of the devil: number one, longevity or immortality. Number two, intellectual superiority. Number three, deification. You'll be like God. The greatest sins on earth start with a desire to create superhumans.